Zion Williamson. He has been a name that has come up in the NBA a lot recently. And it's just for one reason. Now look, in Zion's defense, food just might be God's greatest creation. Now, hear me out. Chicken, pizza, ice cream. Humanity was in their bag when they were creating these gifts to the world. And that's barely even 0.1% of how good food can truly get. And we get to enjoy these things on the daily. I don't think we truly know how lucky we are. But I'm gonna tell you this, Zion does. Zion knows this to be a fact, and he doesn't take it for granted. Not for 1 second. And I respect that because Zion knows one of God's greatest gifts was food. And the fact that there's different types of food for different cultures. The fact that there's different types of food for even different states here in the United States makes it all the more better. You see, I'm from New York, so we got stuff like big egg and cheese, BLT, chopped cheese. These are some of the best sandwiches on earth. Halal food, chicken over rice, our pizza. No wonder why we got more rats than people here. They're eating swell. They out here looking like Zion. And that's just New York. You got places like Philly that got the Philly cheesesteak. You got places like Chicago that got the deep dish pizza. You even got the fast food places like Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's. Which, by the way, I hope a lot of people is using the McDonald's app. Cause look, inflation is high and don't let social media and the internet trick you. The truth is, we don't got money to spend like that out here. There's no such thing as a dollar menu anymore. A McChicken is $4. I remember when I first found that out and I was looking at the cashier crazy. And she said it with a straight face too. And then we got Popeyes. Popeyes is something special. Wait, hold on. This is supposed to be a video about Zion. Ain't no way I was talking about food for 2 minutes. I don't know how many people are going to watch this. I might just be talking to myself. I low-key hope I am because this is a whole nother video. All right, let me get back on topic. Zion. You see, the thing about Zion is that the two types of people that don't take food for granted are chefs and fat people. And chefs aside, the negative about this is for people like Zion. He's not going to take food for granted, but I can't say the same for his health. So look, man, we got to address this literal elephant in the room. And this elephant's weight problem doesn't look like it's going to get better. Look, I understand how Zion feels. Food is good, man. But although I understand, at the end of the day, he is an NBA player. The Pelicans need him right now. The gumbo can wait. And DeMarcus Cousins has somewhat of a point. Out of all places to send him, New Orleans? They had to put a weight clause in his contract. I don't know if I've ever heard of that until now. And I know that wasn't in print at the time they made his contract. I know they used the Sharpie to make last minute revisions. And I know those New Orleans restaurants are rubbing their hands right now because business is booming. They're loving this because when Zion comes around, that's their biggest payday. One visit from Zion and they can retire their whole family. They're set for life. And Stephen A., I have been saying this for years, but who are your sources? Zion will eat the table? Does he even have sources? Is he just making this up? If those sources are real, they are so disrespectful. They're always talking crazy. But look, although I get where DeMarcus Cousins is coming from with his point about New Orleans, like I said, at the end of the day, Zion Williamson is an NBA player. And with him having so much money now, there are things he can do to control that weight. He can hire private chefs, nutritionists, and I know he probably thought of that already. He just doesn't want to do it. And if he did, he probably fired them on the first day. Right now, forget Willie Green. The nutritionists are Zion's real coaches. And I know they have the hardest job in the world. And this commercial is a big example why. When I seen this commercial, I knew Zion was cooked. And you notice with other athletes, whenever they do commercials, it's usually shoe commercials or Gatorade commercials. But look at how different it is for Zion. They know what they're doing. And I know this living room is a set, but right here, I know he feels right at home. And that Doritos and Mountain Dew is a deadly duo. They both teamed up, dropping 41 pounds each on Zion. He's not leaving that couch anytime soon. But the sad part about this is that when he's on the court, Zion is a monster. But the problem is, off the court, he's the Cookie Monster. But on the court, he is that size and can still move like that. He turns the Pelicans into contenders instantly. So I get the frustration when it comes to Zion right now. The only thing all this weight does is pile on injuries. The best ability is availability. And if he's not there, what's the point? The Pelicans are looking pretty cooked right now. He can easily be competing with Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant, Tatum and Luka. But right now, he has to get past Uber Eats first. The only thing the Pelicans can do at this point is kidnap Zion, keep him in a government-confined structure, and introduce him to salads for the first time in his life. But other than that, I don't know what they can do. But yeah, for me, that's the end of this video. To who's ever still watching, happy holidays, and I'm gonna get me a Popeyes.